Have you ever made a big comeback plan after a break only to ghost your own to do list a week later? Come on now. Let's talk about a better way to build momentum, one that actually fits your life when we return. Hello, mompreneurs, and welcome to the Making of a Mompreneur Show. If you've been following along, we've been talking about what it looks like to run your business with more flow, more freedom, and less frenzy, especially after a vacation or a much needed break. In this in the last episode, we talked about easing back into our CEO mode and how to transition gently out of vacation mode without shocking your system or losing your rhythm. So today we are talking about momentum without mayhem, how to set 30-day goals that actually work. If you don't know me, I'm Rasheeda Green. I am the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of the Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digital Mompreneur Academy, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom so that they can build the business of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. And we do that through content, community, courses, and of course, the Digital Mompreneur Academy. So if you are joining us live, make sure you put hashtag live in the comments and tell us where you're tuning in from. And guess what? If you are joining us via replay, hashtag replay, tell us where you're joining in from. And guess what? We still love you. Yes, we still love you. So go ahead and put that in so that we know the far and wide reach of the Mompreneur HQ community. All right. If you know us, you know we're going to give you some good old nuggets. So we want you to get your pen, paper, or digital device and make sure that you're ready to take some notes. And don't be afraid to use hashtag nugget if you found something that's helpful to you. And of course, we want you to like, comment, and share. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow if you're on the other platforms so that you are notified when we drop new videos, trainings, or other lessons. All right. So we want you to make sure that you are ready because we're talking about how to avoid this mayhem as we return back to our workflow after being on vacation. And now that you're back, it's time for us to look at the second part of our last week lesson. And how do you move from easing in to moving forward? How do you build momentum without overloading your calendar or burning out in 10 days or less, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And so make sure that you have your mind ready. And if you are ready, go ahead and drop a hashtag ready in the comments so that we know that you are following along with us. I'm going to show you today how to set realistic, life giving, and growth focused 30-day goals using our mom friendly method. Yes, because your comeback doesn't need to be chaotic, it just needs to be intentional. So that's what we're going to start with first. Why do some big plans fall flat? Why do most big plans go sideways after a break? Because we overcommit or underestimate what our life actually looks like, right? We think because we left before break and everything was situated and nicely packaged and ready to go, that when we come back from vacation, that we just going to go right back to our regular routine and then realize, wait, I'm still on vacation mode. My brain is not really catching up right now. Or there were some things that came in while you were on break or vacation that will also need your attention separate from the plan that you initially had. We try to do the most instead of doing what actually matters. And we make these 90-day plans in a 9-day attention span world, right? Everything is so short. Everyone has such a short attention span that it really does get hectic and boggled down. And as moms, our time is just never our own. And that's not a flaw to speak of. That's just facts. So instead of planning for the fantasy version of your schedule, let's plan for the faithful version, the one that actually matches your current season and still supports your vision. The key here is momentum and not mayhem. All right. So we're going to look at a way that we can do just that. Give ourselves a plan that's not going to overwhelm us and it's going to be a little more realistic. And we call that the 3x3 mini momentum method. Now, this is 1 month, 3 focuses, and real progress that we're looking to make here. I want to introduce you to a method that I teach and that we call the 3x3 mini momentum method. And you don't need a fancy planner or a 42-step blueprint. Here's how it works. Now, this is the part. Will you pull out your digital device and start typing, or get your pen and paper, pencil paper, and start writing? These are some good notes that I want you to get. And if you get it, go ahead and put hashtag I got it. All right. So, step one, we want you to choose your 3 focus areas. These 3 categories are the ones that matter the most to you for this month. Now, a back to school sale promotion might mean the most to you in May or June versus August, September, even though that's when kids are going back to school, because now you're actually behind the schedule. So when we're talking about looking at these 3 categories that I'm going to mention, think about what is relevant for your business today. So if we're in August, we may be looking at our fall activities. So get those types of things in mind as you start to select the 3 categories. So, examples of some categories you would choose from would be: number one, visibility, right? How are you going to show up? That's where you're going to be located. Revenue, these are going to be your sales or your offers. Are you going to focus on creating those, repurposing those, presenting any new sales opportunities? Whatever that is, revenue is that bucket. Then we have systems. Is now the time to start developing your back end work or your automation? Then we also have in here personal growth. Why? Because education for yourself is important, right? But is this the time? Is this month the time that you want to do that? It should be something you consider and have as a category. But as I mentioned, we are looking at how is it that we want to show up for the next 30 days. We're picking 3x3. So there's 3 categories. We talked about visibility, revenue, systems, personal growth, and finally, faith or family time. That's one of the categories that I'd like you to think about focusing on for this particular month. I don't want you to pick what sounds good, what sounds righteous or impressive, but pick what's important. All right. Now, as we go through our 3x3, the second step is to set one goal per focus. So we said 3 categories, and those are things that you're going to focus on for the next month. And you're going to do one goal per category. So if you say personal growth, I want to read 1 business book this month, then that is the goal. I want to read 1 business book this month. For if it was talking about personal, but what if you were thinking about selecting visibility? One goal could be that I'm going to go live once a week for this month. If you said, okay, no, baby, what's important is this revenue. I'm going to launch a tiny offer or promote 1 product this month. If you said systems is where the problem is and I need to get it straight now, then you can go ahead and maybe set up a lead magnet this lead magnet email flow. That's a system. You want to get somebody to download your lead magnet. You want to build your list. All right, let's make that lead magnet email flow. So when they get that email to say, hey, here's your download, this is what I want you to do next. Get that email flow going. All right. And if you said that faith or family time or faith was with your option, you can say, I want to start journaling 3 times a week and pray before work or pray with my family at night. or pray with my spouse in the morning. These are some things that you can do in those areas. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I was just giving you some ideas on how you can now take those particular categories and break down one goal. And this helps you feel productive without burning out. Next, I want you to map it to your real life. Okay? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? Ask yourself, do I have the capacity to do this weekly or bi-weekly? What day or time will I give this my attention? Is it going to be 2 p.m.? Is it going to be during the nap time? Is it going to be on my break or during my lunch at work? What time do I have to commit to these goals? And then another question you can ask yourself is, what can I pre-schedule or prep ahead? That's a good question, because you may be able to get some stuff done and have it all laid out. We do a lot of batch work, batch videos. What else we do? Batching content. I couldn't get it out my mouth, but you heard me started when I said batch videos. But we like to batch content. So, what is it that we can pre-schedule or plan ahead, prep ahead? And the content is definitely one of those things that we can do. And then I want you to make sure that you are considering grace over guilt. Grace over guilt. Because if life throws a curveball, you need to be able to adjust and not quit, right? Sometimes we can guilt trip ourselves. We're not spending enough time with family. We're not spending enough time building our business. We're not making money because it's all our fault. I want you to think grace over guilt. And then we also have another one. We say progress over perfection. So don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself. Do what you can. This is just a goal that we want to reach for. So that's the 3x3. You take 3 categories, pick one goal, and do that and commit time to it for 3 months. And that's our 3x3. Okay. If you have any questions about that, certainly drop that in the comments so that we can explore whatever your questions are and come up with some answers and responses to help you to even consider your own or plan your own 3x3. All right. So that is our 3x3 mini momentum. If you do these things, it helps to give you oomph, a little push, so that you can get through some things that may have been on your to-do list that you would, like I said in the beginning, ghosting. You dropped the ball and kept it moving. But we want to make sure that we get those small wins. And guess what? When we get those small wins, that's what we're talking about next. Track light and celebrate loud. Okay? You don't need a spreadsheet to win. Let's talk about the fun part, right? You want to track your momentum and actually celebrate your wins. The little wins should get just as big a shout out and celebration as the big wins. Why? Because if you don't motivate yourself with those little wins, it's almost, I want to say, deflating. It's almost taking for granted that these things happen. And then you forget the steps and the journey of getting to your destination, right? Because if you think, oh, I want to get to 10K months, you have to make $1 first. You have to make $100. You have to make $1,000 before you can get to those 10K months. So don't neglect or minimize those smaller wins. Celebrate that first dollar in business, that first $100 in business, that first $1,000 in business. It's all exciting, and we want you to celebrate loud. You can keep it simple by using sticky notes or a whiteboard and just writing, I made my first $1, or I made my first $10,000, whatever. Write it on the whiteboard. Be excited about it. I got my first 10 social media followers. I got my first 100 subscribers. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't have to have a party every time. But however you like to celebrate, if that's getting yourself a cheesecake or a nothing but cake, whatever it is, you celebrate. Now, what you can do is write your 3 goals where you can see them. Check them off once a week or even once at the end of the month if that's what you prefer. And then once you've done that and you've seen that you're able to knock these things out of the park, then celebrate those small wins. Go ahead and schedule a mini reward. Like I said, it could be a bundt cake, a cheesecake, a slice of cake. It could even be a day off, right? You're the boss. Who gonna check me, boo? Right? Who gonna check me? If you decide that the reward to myself is going to be a day off, then you do that. Is it going to be a shopping trip alone? No kids in tow, no spouse, nobody, not even a best friend. Just I'm just gonna go and treat myself to a shopping excursion of one item, whatever that may be. I want you to go ahead and schedule that mini reward. And then, of course, you can share your wins with your accountability partner or your best business bestie, or you can share it with, you can post your progress with your community, right? You can say hello. It provides visibility. It also gives encouragement, not just for them to give you encouragement for how you've achieved that particular goal, but also for them to know that, oh wow, she did that, I can do that too. So it in a community, it does have a great impact on how your wins can affect others. And then you also might get that support from them saying, hey, keep going. Like I said before, that accountability. They're like, wait a minute, now you had said what happened, where you at, what's your status, how you doing? And sometimes I'm gonna tell you now, I have someone who said, you want me to be your accountability partner? I was like, no. And she said, because I'm going to push you on it. I was like, exactly. And that's a terrible response. It's so terrible. But that's the point. If somebody's going to hold you accountable, you're going to have to be accountable. And so sometimes we need that push, that somebody is going to be like, no, I don't care what you said about you tired. Go ahead, girl, do what you said you was going to do. I'm only holding you accountable to what promises you made to yourself. And I think that's one of the important things too. Hold true or hold fast to the promises you make for yourself. You are the only one that can fulfill the promises you make to yourself. So do that. When you are breaking your own promises and when you are putting yourself last and on the back burner and everything else comes before you, before the things that you do for yourself, you will be in a continuous cycle, a rut, if you will, of not making yourself a priority. And in business and in life, you need to make you a priority. Not to say that none of the other things are important. I'm sure feeding your kids is important, right? But I'm saying in the sense that everything can't go in front of you. You can't be there for everyone else and break promises to yourself. That's where boundaries come into play. That's when you have to make sure that you're building up your accountability partners, you're building up your circle of people so that those are going to be people to encourage you and to build you up and hold you to the fire. So, you want to definitely not keep putting yourself on the back burner. You want to make sure that you are moving forward and holding yourself accountable and keeping promises to yourself. The more you notice your progress, the more you'll want to continue. And so that helps in making sure that you're keeping the momentum going. And just like that, I want you to build like a mom CEO and not like a machine, because you're not. Leave that stuff to Chat GPT and them, right? You are a mom, you're a CEO, you're probably doing a number of other different things and juggling a whole bunch of balls in the air. But, mama, let me leave you with this. You don't need $1 million launch to move forward. You need a clear, doable next step and a system really that honors your time, honors your energy and your priorities. And so, with that is why I created the momentum map. And it's my personal 30-day goal setting guide to help you plan, prioritize, and actually follow through with room for real life. DM me the word momentum and I will send you the link to schedule your time with me. Now, this momentum map is actually something to help you get a plan of how you want to grow your business. So we give you a lot of information, even a map of how to go from step A to step Z. And it is a quick, that's not quick, it is a similar to our breakthrough session that we have. We do have a breakthrough session that is a specific goal that you have that you want to speak to me about. That is what the breakthrough session helps you to get. But with the momentum mapping, it actually gives you more detail. We'll make sure that we put the link in our comments, but it will allow you to think about and plan out. You tell me what you do, what you like to do, what you want to do, what your goal is, and how you want to make things happen for your life. And then we will make sure, let me see. Don't mind me. I am looking up some information for you so that you will be able to sign up for our call and get more information. You're always free to check out our clarity calls, schedule something with us so that you would be able to get an idea of how we work and how we would work to, if we're a good fit to work together. And yeah, it's all that good stuff that we are looking to help you with. So, this is the massive momentum map. And with that, you are going to get, you would need to share with me who you serve, what your financial goals are, and what we'll do is create an offer suite based on your based on the information that you provide. And that offer suite, literally, we will come up with a map of your lead magnet, your low ticket offer, your medium ticket offer, and what could potentially be your high ticket offer. So that's what each map comes with. But like I said, we need your input in order to get that. And each plan will include some potential pricing. So we'll even talk about that. What might be a right price range for the type of product that we come up with, so that you'll walk away with a complete funnel strategy that aligns with your goals and sets you up for massive success. Now, this can be something that you do at any point in time. If you want to do one for the last quarter of the year, if you want to do a momentum map that's going to help you to build out your business for 2026. Yes, we're talking about 2026 already. Oh my gosh. But if that's something you're willing to do, then yeah, hit us up. Go ahead and drop that momentum, and we will drop you the link to our massive momentum map offer so that you can get more information and clarity on what it is that we will discuss in that call. And really, you will receive a personalized map. You give me the information, you tell me what I need, and I will design a map that aligns perfectly with your business goals. And if you follow the steps to success by using our massive momentum map to guide each decision to grow your income and reach your goals with confidence, you will look back and see, wow, this was the best thing smoking. Because really, the massive momentum map is definitely an opportunity. And that is something that I could do and charge at my one-on-one pricing. But we're doing this sort of as a, what do I want to say, promotional pricing. So if you want to join us, go ahead and check out the massive momentum. Hit us up with the hashtag momentum or DM us momentum. And either way, we will get that link to you so that you can check out how to get your plan done. This map is legit a great opportunity for you to line up what it is that you want to do with your business in an easy 1 hour conversation, and you will leave with your offer suite mapped out. All right, I am so grateful to have you all join us today. And just remember, you're not behind. Nope. because you took a break or you enjoyed your time away with family does not mean that you are behind, because you're building something beautiful. And the best part is that you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to do it in the time frame everyone else says. You don't have to hit 1 million views in 20 seconds. You don't have to go viral. You just need to build what it is that you believe that is your future and your legacy. So until next time, I want you to remember that you're the CEO of your business and your life. You can lead both well, one focused step at a time. Enjoy these last days of summer, and we will see you again on the Making of a Mompreneur Show with your host, Rasheeda Green. Until next time.